I'm new to this. What is this right here?
This is TikTok.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Back to Baltimore? Bro, the Bengals could have easily got him. Bro, I found that out on Fridays. No. I saw a thing and it was like Burrow's screwed. You got TJ Watt, Max, and you got Miles. Who did? Oh, did he? Send him to Cincinnati.
All right, guys, welcome. We are live. Not sure why that's saying we're not, because I have it up on here. We are live on YouTube and TikTok. Welcome in, everybody. We are here at Northwest Lanes, just north of Cincinnati, Fairfield, Ohio, live streaming our Greater Cincinnati USBC Senior Singles event. The 10 a.m. shift here on this Sunday. See Nick Vogelsang getting a strike down there on lane 16. Probably be seeing a lot out of him today.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good pair.
Yeah.
Got Dave Welledge, who just had 300 Friday morning. You have his brother Brent, John Murphy, who's another really good bowler, and Nick Vogelsang all in the same pair. So that pair is going to be a high-scoring pair, I would imagine.
And you got George here, just lighting them up. Start off too.
Oh yeah, good old George. That man, let me tell you, he is. I think he's 80 years old, and he'll bowl his senior league and then bowl 6 or 7 games afterwards at 80-some years old. It's amazing.
We were just talking about that with Wendell yesterday about how I looked it up. He's in, 3 of the leagues?
Monday, he bowls Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yep. And then he's in here all morning on Sunday, all day on Sunday bowling too.
Yeah, I think
10
Gary
games every Sunday.
Probably like Gary Bauman comes up and practices with him, and Adam Rink. Usually that's some of his good friends. They usually come up and practice with him all the time.
Oh yeah, they usually have somewhere between 5 to 10 people down there all bowling. As soon as we let them have a lane, once the sweeper's gone far enough, they jump on there. So George is like, well, I'm up here bowling. The only difference is he's actually bowling the tournament this time.
Right.
I don't know how many times Wayne and I have tried to get him to bowl a regular sweeper, senior sweeper, anything. He won't do it.
He won't do it.
We've even offered to pay for it, and he still won't. And it's like, what? He's like, nope, can't do it. It's like, all right, you say so, George. Okay, good. All right,
that's another good people is I'm gonna butcher his last name. I see him every two. Corey Zish, I think his name is.
Oh yeah.
One of the most underrated senior bowlers I think that's out there, and he's just a good people too. I just had to give him a shout out because I love Corey.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, he comes up and bowls a lot of the different sweepers and different senior sweepers and everything. He's up here quite a bit. He's a good guy for sure. Got a lot of good people in here. I mean, it's a lot of good bowlers, a lot of good everything, really.
The really good thing about my job is I work in a lot of these senior bowl, and they get on me if I don't get them their coffee or their donuts, but they are some of the Sweetest people in the world. They always like to keep up on me. Obviously, people know that I tend to bowl quite a bit. And they always are the first people to comment on my posts and root me on and give me all the support. So I love the seniors. And I love the big turnout. There's 24 lanes, I'm sorry, going today. When I worked Friday morning, the whole house was full for the first shift, which is pretty good. It's incredible.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and I think the shift yesterday they were down to 27, 28, I think. 26 at a minimum, but
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're through 26 today too.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they? How can you, sorry, I'm talking football, guys. How can you let Max go to Baltimore?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Russell over here just said that Miles requested. Dude, when I saw that on Friday, I said, now it was like Joe Scrooge, you have DJ, Miles.
Oh.
You gotta have those 6 gauge.
Yeah.
6 gauge, you gotta play those. Crazy, man. Bengals gotta do something.
Yep.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Brown, please, for the love of God, do something.
Mike Brown, Duke Tobin, anybody, do anything.
Yeah, that was a big trade Friday night. Not very good for Cincy fans, but
yeah, it seems like
it's football.
We're gonna run T on one side, Chase on the other, Joe Burrow in the backfield, and 8 offensive linemen.
Yeah, the fact I was one of the guys I was just talking to. His name's Dion, so he always gives me all the inside scoop with the Bengals and all that stuff, and that's what we were just talking about. Is now Joe's got to see Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, and now Max Crosby in the same division. 2 games apiece, 6 games total, and you got to see the best of the best. So it's not the greatest for the old Houday Nation.
No, because I mean, you say you pick out top 5 pass rushers in the league. Every single person's list is going to include all 3 of those individuals.
Yeah, that's 3 out of the top 5, and they're all in our division.
Yeah,
which is not fun.
No. Welcome in. I see Michael Martz over there on TikTok. Welcome. Let's see where, like I said, I can't quite see how many we have on YouTube. For some reason, it's being a little temperamental on our side, but I'm sure there are people watching because I have it on my phone, so I know it's there. Oh, looks like we got about 10 people on YouTube at the moment, so that's good. I'll keep that up just so I know how many people are there. And I was the one who tested the chat, so the chat is working. Welcome, March. We're doing good.
It is a chilly Sunday morning.
Yep.
Chilly.
Yeah, that was the interesting thing. Yesterday, I came in here. I had a jacket all ready to go, but it was one of the few times that I came in here not bowling and it wasn't freezing.
Yeah.
Welcome, Gary. He's rooting on Roy and Russ there.
There you go.
Yep. Roy's starting off strong. Russell's doing okay too.
Oh yeah, he's on the front 3.
Yep. Yeah, that was the thing yesterday. So we had, I think, we had 2 800s and a 300 on Friday. But there were 2 shifts, but still.
Yep.
Yesterday we didn't have any honor scores, so hopefully we'll get a couple today. We should.
I've always said for senior, but it's hard for regular bowlers too, shooting honor scores. But when you have some senior bowlers shooting honor scores, that's pretty cool. I know Wellich had 300 the first game Friday. We had an 8. Hopefully, I think it was an 8-13 and an 8-17.
I feel like I remember hearing 8-17.
I think Charles Collier had 8-17, and then Thomas had 8-13.
Yep. Yeah,
and he had a monster set. Thomas had 270, 279, front 9. I was like, oh my Lanta. that's a big set.
That's a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gavin, that sounds like it was Charles Collier leading the way with 8-17 so far. And honestly, looking down on the far end there, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of big scores coming out of 25 and 26.
Trying to get Pops to be. Oh, he's not looking at me.
No. Oh, yeah.
Lexi's for anybody who doesn't know, my girlfriend of 4 years, her dad is he hasn't bowled in probably close to 10 years now, and he's finally starting to get back into it. I gave him a bowling ball recently. Gave Lexi's uncle a bowling ball, Charlie also a bowling ball. I have so many bowling balls, so I just given them away like Oprah. But yeah, he's getting back into it. Me and Todd and Charlie were actually bowling the Curate doubles, so that's gonna be really cool. So
Oh, nice. Yeah, that'll be real fun.
even if we don't bowl greatest, we're still gonna have a lot of fun. So
Exactly. That's kind of one of the main points of that tournament. Granted, you can win. I think we're saying, I mean, if we get to 150 people, that's going to guarantee $1,500 on top. But if we,
okay,
I mean, we're going to get well over 100.
is that 150 teams or 150 bowlers?
Teams.
Oh, 150 teams. Okay.
I mean, last year we had 194. So we just wanted to set something just to have a number. And so that $1,500 is probably going to be higher, but we just set that at $1,500 if we get 150, which we're going to be disappointed if we only get 150.
Oh yeah, I mean, if last year was 190, let's go get to 225 or something.
Yeah, we're breaking 200.
Let's break some records.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, and that's the other cool thing with the Curate doubles. Me and Bill, I'm actually going to sit down and talk with Bill here soon because. As many of you know, I'm doing the Wounded Warriors project this year, so we've been doing a bunch of raffles and stuff, and we're also partnering with the Curate doubles as well. So whatever Bill's charity of choice, we're going to go ahead and donate a little bit to Bill's charity of choice too. That was one thing that my dad always kind of prided himself is if you got it, make sure you give back. To people that aren't as fortunate as us. So we're very, very thankful and blessed to be able to do this. Work in a bowling alley, bowl, do something I love. And there's some people that are, whether they're coming from overseas or battling injuries or anything of that nature, we can at least do what we can to give back. So.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah, for those who aren't aware, we're just Curate, as we say that a bunch. We have a tournament that's here. It's I believe this is its 6th year of the Just Curate. It was over at Coleraine
it's been here for a while.
It was at Gilmore for a couple of years, and then now it's been here for a year, and then this will be the 2nd year that we have it here at Northwest Lanes. That is going to be May 15th and 16th, I believe. It's a doubles tournament on house, 80% of 220 handicap. You can cash with the same person twice, but you can cash as many times as you have. We have 3 shifts on Saturday, 3 shifts on Sunday. You can cash as many times as you bowl. Just can only cash with the same person 2 shifts total. So,
and it's just a 1 weekend thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. At this point in time, it's just 1 weekend. We've talked about maybe expanding it, but for right now, we're still having it 1 weekend. Especially this year, there's just no time this year with everything going on in this
we got
alley.
a lot of things coming up at Northwest.
Yeah.
We have Women's State, which we're pretty cool and exciting. We have Women's State, I believe, the end of March, early April.
I think the 2nd or middle of April through the end of May, I think.
Okay.
Something like that, or early April through middle of May, actually, yeah.
Yeah, 6 straight weekends. We had a ladies' state tournament, which is really good.
Yep.
And then I also found out that the men's state tournament is coming here, not to Northwest, but it is coming to Cincinnati for the first time in a while in 2028. That's very
nice.
Something. I don't know the bowling alleys. I believe it's going to be, I heard Western and maybe Florence. So that's really cool for those two. Unfortunately, with the stuff that we got going on, we just couldn't hold it here. Not that we didn't want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good for the other centers in the area, and it's going to be good that it comes to Cincinnati.
Yep. It's interesting to have Ohio State and Kentucky.
Yeah. We actually leave for state next week. So we got Nick Arvin and Chad and Jason Eichel, James Casey, all those guys. They're bowling state right now up in Columbus. And then we go up next Saturday morning.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, we got everything. Basically, if you're looking for something to bowl, especially as a female in Ohio, you're going to be you come to Northwest on a weekend, you'll find something.
Oh, yeah.
For the next 3 months, there's something to bowl here.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, even now we got senior singles today. We got the Scotch doubles next weekend. We got senior doubles the weekend after that.
Yeah.
We've got our regular sweep, which is here every Sunday that we don't have something else going on. Sunday after that. The following weekend, I'm not sure. It is Easter, so we'll probably run something. We just don't know what yet. And then I believe after Easter, that first weekend after Easter is when Women's State actually begins for 6 weeks.
Okay.
And I want to say the first weekend after Women's State is done is the Just Curate doubles.
So it's busy.
Yeah.
We got a lot going on.
We do. Oh, and then we've got the BMB Gear Classic that comes in here in June. Got the TMBA 9-pin no tap that'll be here the first couple of weekends in July. We've got I believe there's a youth tournament coming in here the first weekend in August.
Oh, nice. Heck
as
yeah.
well. I think Tim Troutman is the one running that.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, I remember Todd telling me that. And then I think the weekend after that is
cashing out
weekend. Yeah.
Yep. So
lots of bowl in the area for sure.
Yep. Gavin's saying we need to run some youth tournaments in here.
Gavin who? Hannah?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
How you doing, Gav? He's a really good young talent. He's going to St. X next year, and they just won the
they just won
state title. So congratulations to them. And Gavin, hopefully you have a lot of scores and a lot of fun bowling high school, bud.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, hey, there you go. You probably will be in here in next January then. I'm sure St. X comes up and bowls the one of those because it's the boys one weekend and the girls the other weekend or something for the 2 tournaments in January. So you'll be in here bowling some sort of youth event next year.
Is your mic messed up?
No, because it's yours all jacked. Okay.
No, when you talk, it sounds like an alien talking.
Yeah, that's yeah. That better?
Yes. Yes, it's a lot better.
Yep. Yeah, something with our system likes to mess up and make it sound like a robot.
Quick and easy fix.
Oh, Gavin's saying that St. X LaSalle is a part of their. They are GMC and LaSalle bowls out of here. So. So who said he'll be up here a couple of times bowling them?
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, we were just talking about him a little bit yesterday. How he has to come up here and get his span adjusted every 3 or 4 months.
Oh yeah, I've been working with occasionally Gavin when he comes into practices. If I have some time and if I'm a little bit slow, I'll go ahead and kind of help him out a little bit. And I put my hand in. I have a small hand, anyways, but I put my hand in his ball. I'm like, dude, I have the same span as you. And I was like, how old are you, Gav? And he was like 14. And I'm like, and I looked at Wendell. I was like, Wendell, how does the 14-year-old have the same span as me? And he goes, boy, just keeps growing, man.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gotten he's gotten a lot better. He qualified for junior gold recently, which is awesome.
Yep. Yeah, he just won a tournament yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Him and CJ Otis finished second. Yeah, really good friends. That's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be really good. You're going to probably be hearing a lot of those 2 names over the next 3-4 years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bowling.
I think CJ was a freshman this year.
Yes,
I think so. He's still got 3 more years, and then Gavin's going to be a freshman this year. So yeah, really, really good bowlers, good kids.
Yep.
CJ's a good kid. Love his dad to death. I love Clayton to death.
Oh yeah.
It's always good to see bowlers that are younger and getting better and better and better. That's always awesome to see. So.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I've seen him bowl, and I know he's getting better, and he's getting kind of adjusting his style and everything like that. But I see Gavin bowl, and I know he's bowled a tournament or 2 with him, but I just see Jackson Styles.
Oh yeah,
that's just a very similar release and everything. Like I could see him. That's just when I see him bowl, that's who I think of.
Right. Yeah, Jackson was actually up here on. I think Gavin came up on Wednesday or Thursday. I helped him a little bit, and then he actually came up. Jackson actually came up Friday and worked with him a little bit. Jackson threw some shots and just kind of helped him a little bit. usually he either talks to Jackson or he says something to me, and we try to help him as much as we can. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, he's gonna be a monster. He already is, and he's gonna be a monster here in the next couple of years. So
Yep. Yeah, I remember realizing, because I didn't know he was only 14, because I remember it was like the very beginning of the year, just before high school was all starting up. CJ and him were coming here bowling the sweeper and everything, and then CJ was like, "Well, this is my last week because high school starts next week." And for those who don't know, if you are bowling in high school, the second you have your first match, you are not allowed to bowl anything else.
Correct.
No leagues, no tournaments, nothing. So unless it's with the high school. So that next weekend, I see Gavin walks in. I'm like, wait, I thought high school started. He's like, yeah, I'm not in high school yet. I'm like, oh, geez, wow, all right, right.
Yeah, I think I was actually talking to one of CJ's teammates. His name's Easton Perini. And I think Easton said, which it changed. I've been out of high school for 16 years now, which makes me feel really old. But Easton said that you are allowed 2 events to bowl in the season, but you have to get it okayed with Ohio State, like Ohio OHSSA, I think it is what it's called. You are able to. Ohio's just has those rules with the state. I believe other states, maybe Kentucky and other stuff like that, you're allowed to bowl other events. It's just Ohio. High schoolers, if you're watching, just make sure that once you throw that first ball in your match, like Steve said, you can't bowl any more tournaments for a couple months. So
Yeah, I know when I bowled, it was you couldn't bowl anything, like at all, like during the season or any of that. You were allowed to bowl youth stuff and things like that's the one thing that I'm very happy that they've changed from when I was starting out is you couldn't bowl anything that had money in it, no matter what. So there was no Smart. I mean, I think Smart was just starting out, but they hadn't gotten it set up to the point of you got it if you were bowling even adult tournaments. Like the only place you got that from was other youth tournaments, and that was it. And so back then it was you couldn't if you like subbed in an adult league, you could be banned from bowling high school. Like it was very
you would have
strict.
you would have to make yourself go essentially adult, even though you're technically a kid, but you would be considered as a adult bowler. So that actually happened to me with a in junior gold. Not to tell a story for a long time, but my last year at junior gold, I actually tied for 16th, which was match play out of 2,000 kids. And then I found out the next morning that one of the kids that made match play, unfortunately, was bowling, pot games or whatever the case was, or subbing in a league or something. And he was listed as an adult. So technically, I should have been in. I should have filled in as the alternate. We would have split the money, but they decided to just kind of eliminate that spot. It happened to me from experience. So it's not worth it. There's a lot of stuff to bowl as a youth bowler. There's a lot of great events and a lot of great events to get you better. So if you want to get into adult leagues or adult tournaments, definitely the youth bowling, getting experience, getting your feet wet, junior gold. Those are definitely good ways to get your feet wet.
Yeah, junior gold's definitely a huge stepping stone to kind of get some things and really learn. That's probably one of the first things that you really see outside of maybe, let's say maybe districts, because now they've got like districts and things for state. They put patterns out. But everything else is house. Like as a youth bowler, you've got to kind of search your way out to find something that's not on house. Granted, that's one of the big benefits around here is we do have. I mean, at least last year, I know here we ran or 2 years ago we ran the youth challenge league here. Put out a different pattern every couple of years, but that for whatever reason the participation was down on that, so we stopped. That's not running anymore.
Right.
But I mean, there's things to find. And the other really big thing, too, is just finding, even, like you said, even if it's an adult tournament, you message the tournament director and ask if they're youth certified, and they can get a Smart. Because all you got to do is sign a piece of paper. And they'll just put your money right into a Smart account. You can bowl those type of events. So that is a big benefit.
Yeah, definitely if you want to, like he said, definitely want to make sure, because you don't want to bowl the tournament and then, you're caught in a pickle and now you just gave up your youth status. So
yeah, because if they find that out one time, one time is all it takes, and you're done. So, yep.
I think we got a front 8 down there on, what is that, 23 and 24? I can't read that.
Where do you? I don't see one. Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, the
23,
second bowler.
24. I think that is Mr. JP3.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah.
Yep.
And then we also have Heath Gooden down there. One of my good friends. He's on 279 pace.
Yep.
He's in going in the 9th frame right now.
Kenny was on a 277 pace, but I feel like I see a red circle up there right now. So Kenny's probably a little.
Oh yeah.
That.
Yep.
I can't see what it is, but I just could see that red from all that. That stands out.
Right. We got John Murphy right here in front. He's going 279 as well.
Yep.
And the other really cool thing about this tournament is they give all the different divisions. So you have, you see all these senior bowlers, and some of them are in different age brackets or different divisions because of their age brackets. So, that was kind of the crazy thing on Friday is Thomas had 813. He opened in the 10th. He had a horrible break. Still shot 813. And then Charles went around and threw a double, and I believe they're in the same division. So Thomas shoots 813 is second right now, which is kind of crazy.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing with especially these city tournaments. You bowl and you think, oh, that's locked in, and I got that now. And then all of a sudden you turn around and no, you don't. I mean, well, the benefit is at least we don't have to deal with, at least so far, nobody's having to deal with what they had in Tennessee. So that's a plus.
Yeah, we were talking about that at dinner when we bowled the Bradley with Collier, Jackson, Brady, myself, my mom, and Maddie Ring.
Yeah,
and
like
they're
Tennessee State. They have the singles handicap lead. Last time I saw it, I did see they were going to look into it and potentially adjust it, but
like 9:45 or something.
9:45 was leading the state of Tennessee's.
Yeah, shake that off.
USBC. Supposedly, I was reading into some of the things, and somebody had posted about it, and there were a ton of comments. Obviously, as there will be. If you see anything over a 900 for a 3-game handicap, there's going to be people talking.
Yeah,
but the thing that they were saying was that this was, again, apparently, and this happens a lot. I help out. We help run the Sunday tournament here. That is a handicapped event. Anytime you're running a handicapped event, you got to just keep an eye on handicaps and everything else. And the biggest thing that you see a lot of the time is, especially with youth bowlers or younger guys who are just getting into the game. And that's really where you'll see some really wild swings and people complaining and everything else. But when you really look into it, you can say, okay, wait a minute. That's actually legitimate.
Yeah, right.
Now, this one, I do think there's a mix of several things that I read going on with that one. One, it was apparently a younger kid. He was like 18, 19. And he had bowled quite a bit before that, and apparently for a couple of years averaged in the 170s, 180s, something like that. And then the next year he bowled and was either dealing with an injury or just really, really struggled. Only got about 36 games in a league in and was averaging 140 something. And his dad had posted on there that he had basically, after that league, he had given up on. He said he didn't really want to bowl anymore because he just wasn't enjoying it or having fun. But a year later, his dad convinced him to just go to state with them. I don't know if they were just short a person, what it was, whatever. And he just popped off a 745. But he had the 140 average. And so that's where it came from, of where that happened. But then,
honestly, it's one of those things that, you can look at it both ways. I mean, you talk about people like sandbagging. Obviously, this kid probably didn't sandbag. But you talk about people that, average 100. Some people average 170 and, they just one set, they just get hot, and then they shoot 870 with their handicap. There's really it's a double-edged sword. I feel like, just because, like I said, somebody could struggle in their leagues, but then they get lined up, they get hot for 3 games, and then there's really nothing you can do about it. It's the unfortunate thing, but it's good for them. But also, too, people get a lot of flack for being called a sandbagger and all this other stuff. It's just if that kid averages 140 and he popped off 770, is that a little alarming? Absolutely, but maybe one of those things where he just got hot. You never know. So
Well, and it's one of those things where I think he said that. And so that was the singles. I think in doubles, and again, 140, it's questionable, but he had averaged 170. I think the 2 years prior. But it was just the way the rules were set up at the time, and I think that's what they said they were looking into. Because I think I had read where state officials were actually contacting national to ask what they needed to do.
Oh yeah,
and
probably to figure out what to do.
What do we want to do here? But even if they because the only thing you could do, because his highest average anywhere was like 170 something, which still from a 140 that's going to drop it. But I believe it still was going to take him down to where he still would have been in the lead regardless. But even if they took his 170 something average, he still would have been like mid eights. So it's just one of those things that kind of happens. And I mean, I think they said he bowled low mid fives the other two sets. So for like doubles, doubles.
That's what I was saying. It could be like, just got hot just for one set.
Oh, exactly. Yep. And we see that all the time on Sundays where somebody will come in and they'll have like a 170 average and they'll pop off a 279 game or a 268 game, and people will come up like, "What's the kid? How is he doing this?" But then you watch them, and what happens is, and that's what I said, a lot of times you see it really with the young people just getting into the game. And typically, I mean, it's not always, but a lot of times it seems to be two-handers. Because when you're just starting and you go two-handed, if you get lined up, you can strike your butt off. You could strike but then, because we've seen that a few times where somebody's throwing strikes and we're like, there's no way that's a 180 bowler. Yeah. And they leave like a 5 pin or a 9 pin, and you see them miss it by like a foot, and you're like, oh, okay, that's how that makes sense now.
Yeah, I mean, that happened. That's happened to me before when I bowled the Sunday sweeper. AJ Parsons, Jack Parsons' son. AJ, if I had to guess roughly off the top of my head, he probably averages 185, maybe. And it was just one of those days where he absolutely demolished them all day, just demolished them. And we go up into the finals, and I had like 240. And he shot 230 or 240, but he got 30 pins a game. And you're like, that's not really I can do. Like, that's the unfortunate things about handicap. But you know what you're getting into, and it's everybody has those days where if you're a lower average bowler, not saying anything bad about it, but if you're a lower average bowler, it is good to see them kind of pop off one time, because that's a huge set to them, set with their average. And that kid, if he averages, let's say 170, so that's 510, and he just shot 770. That's 260 pins over your average. Like that's pretty good.
Exactly.
I mean, some people can't even get there for a fourth game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and for us, to get to 760? What did that take us? 4 or 5? I think it took me 5 games to get to that at a Bradley.
Yeah, I feel that. I got there pretty quick on the first squad. The second squad took me a while to get to 760.
Yeah, I literally think the first squad, I think I shot 775 for 5 or something crazy like that. So
they were not easy this year.
No. Nope. There's a guy that cashed in the Bradley.
Yeah, got Israel Pavey right here.
Yep.
He finished. Collier, what'd you finish?
18th.
Did you finish
13th.
the Bradley? 18th. Yeah. So 18th, and then our boy Brady finished second, a runner-up at the Bradley. So.
Yeah, for those
good showing for the Cincinnati guys. We also had Nolan White. He made it.
He made cash.
A couple other people. I know Jeff. Jeff makes it every year. A couple other really good bowlers from the area. So it was good to see that Cincinnati kind of showed up. Cincinnati area led both of the squads at the Bradley. I led B squad on the burn, and then Michael Mossberger led A squad on the fresh.
Yep.
Which was really good. But kudos to Chad Roberts, because that was one of the hardest Bradleys I've ever seen, and Chad made it look like house all weekend. So
that's what Gavin's saying. He just threw it up 5 and made it look like easy.
Yeah, I was sitting there with Brady, and just trying to be there for him as support. He's like family to me, so is Collier, and he just looked at me and he was like, "I just don't have it. I just don't have what Chad has." And I was like, "I know. Like you get in the worst time where you don't have that great of a ball reaction, but like I told him, there's nothing to hang your head about. You finished second at the Bradley.
Yeah,
it's the second hardest tournament in the world to win. So
what would you say for
nothing
Masters, or would you say it's first hardest tournament to win? If you say Bradley's second.
If you're talking about tour events, Masters is probably up there. I think the U.S. Open, which is going to be on today, that's another hard one. The hardest one I think to win is the Peterson, 100%.
That's what I was saying. When we talked about that a lot, I said, because I mean, granted, I will say the Peterson is the hardest thing on the planet, but to me, the Peterson, I mean, it's an amazing experience. I still want to do it. That's one I haven't done, and I crossed the Bradley off my list this year because that was one I had always wanted to do. Seeing that, getting back into bowling, but the Peterson is one I want to do. I would say that is, and I don't mean this in a negative way at all, because it is such a cool and fun event, and I really want to go bowl it. But the Peterson is more of a kind of gimmicky style.
Yeah, like, it's not bowling.
It's a fun event. It's a great run event, and it's a ton of fun, and it's extremely difficult. But it's a gimmicky thing. But everybody knows that going in. I mean, the Bradley, granted, it has its own little gimmick of just being your ball doesn't hook. Like you said, what you have, most people think, okay, anybody who bowls tournaments or whatever, you go out, you have a bunch of different sanding pads and all that. 500 is typically the lowest you go.
Yeah.
And what were you using on your bowling ball?
I used 80 grit drywall screen.
Exactly.
So at the Bradley, this year it kind of backfired, just because Western with the new panels. Not trying to be all nerdy. But Western, when they put new panels in 2 years ago, we just bowled their city tournament as you did. And they hook really early, even on like a modified house shot. And I kind of had that feeling when we came in Saturday night. I didn't think they were going to be as slick as I thought, and they just hooked super early, and that's what kind of ultimately kind of messed me up. I had a bunch of balls at surface and then missing all these makeables. But yeah, at the Bradley, pretty much, anything goes. I actually had a guy named Philip Dumpkin. He came in literally, ladies and gentlemen, he came in with a roofing shingle. I am not kidding you. He came in with a shingle from a roof and hit his balls with a roofing shingle. I always tell people that the stuff that you see at the Bradley, you can never recreate the Bradley anywhere else. It's one of those ones that if you're not going to bowl it, I understand, but definitely come up and watch it, because you will see the hardest the most talented bowlers shoot 2-0 and have a great game. Yeah. I had an all spare game with 2 strikes and I shot 199. It was like me winning the lottery. I felt like.
Yep. I mean, you'll see people
220? Yeah.
And you'll see people like, these names or whatever, but you'll see somebody like a Kyle Troop go in there and shoot a 150 or 140.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing that really tells you what's going on. And it's not like it's just you hit that pair and you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but when it comes to, and you guys in the chat can kind of ask this too. It's a good question that, I wouldn't be opposed to putting it on, my Facebook and just kind of seeing, but what do you think the hardest professional tournament is to win? Would you say the Masters?
I would say the Masters.
The Masters is definitely up there, just because you could bowl matches and shoot 560 and win, and you can shoot, the year that me and Jayla made match play, I won a match with like 640, and I saw Wesley Lowe shoot 752 and lose by like 8. And you're like, there's nothing, you can't do much about that. So, it's.
Sorry, I just got a little noticing we're getting a little bit laggy, and I'm not quite sure why.
Looks like the bottom camera.
Actually, it's both of them, really.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking up here, but on that, definitely.
Yeah, I've got it up here, but the bottom camera sometimes gets a little warm, and that can get a little bit. The top one's even doing it on YouTube. So sorry about this, guys. We're trying to see what's going on. It seems to be kind of intermittent, but I'll try and see what I can do to get that fixed.
Let's ask Collier this question real quick. Hey, Collier.
Oh, yeah.
What is in your opinion, out of all the tournaments that there is out there, what is the hardest tournament to win? You say the Bradley? You don't think the Peterson? That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. Collier brought up a good point. The Bradley is, Chad and those guys, they bowled 27 games for the Bradley. The Peterson's only 8.
Yeah.
It's a good point. True. Yeah. Like Steve was saying, it's kind of like it's not really it is kind of like it is kind of oh, really?
Oh.
Back-to-back 8 pins on 15?
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's the Peterson is just, like you said, you know what you're getting into, and it's just kind of like a funny kind of gig.
I think someone's bringing up your Masters bowl.
Oh, is that Wayne? Tell Wayne to sit behind the desk.
Yeah.
I shot 84, but I didn't quit, ladies and gentlemen, and I did it in front of Belmo. So take that.
So was that the Masters or the Open that you did that?
That was the Masters.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So for everybody,
turned around a few years later and shot 300 at the U.S. Open. So, or was that the Masters also? You shot 300?
I shot 300 at the Masters. Yeah. So back in 2018, I crossed with Belmo and Bill O'Neill all week, which was incredible. And the second day, I hit the head pin every ball but one time, and I shot 84. So that's why all my jerseys have 84 on it. My bags have 84 on it. And then, fast forward, this was like 3 years ago when the Masters was in Detroit. I actually shot 300 in my first block. So Brett Spangler, the owner of Motive, and a very, very good person from our region in the Central region, he said that he has officially seen Rick shoot one of the lowest games in history at the Masters, and he saw him shoot 300 at the Masters. So something that not a lot of you guys can say that you did. So
no, exactly.
You just got to own it.
Exactly. And that's the key. I mean, the other thing, like, it's just like you do that with the 84. I mean, anybody who's bowled tournaments or does it a lot, you sometimes you just have that day where it just absolutely nothing goes right.
Yeah.
And it happens. And then you have the other, like, it's like that with anything with bowling. I mean, sometimes you don't have the ball, you don't have the line, the lane is just, everything's against you.
How you doing, sir? Good. Yep. Good to see you.
Or you bowl and you hit the pocket and 8 pin stands up. The one time you throw a good shot, it's like, really?
I missed 2 makeables and I split 7 times. And you know what I always tell people all the time is, we've had our frustrating moments, and you probably had frustrating moments where you're frustrated. And I tell people all the time, I just shot 130. And I tell people, have you flown to Vegas all the way across country and shot 84? It's not fun. Imagine all these people here, ladies and gentlemen, that was just watching my pair because of Belmo and Bill O'Neill. And they followed us every game. So I did it in front of them, did it in front of, people that are watching me and supporting me. It can't get much worse than that. But with that being said, even if you have a bad game, it's just one game. It can't define you. So that's why I just own it. I'm the guy that, we still talk about it. Sometimes when I bowl those tour stops, somebody will come up to me and be like, hey, you're the guy who shot 84. Yeah. It happens. It happens.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with what, Tom, who shot 100 on TV. Yeah. He owns it. He has fun with it, too.
Yeah. Tom shot 100 on TV. Now he's a player every week on tour, Yep. I mean, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just the same thing with bowling. Like, anybody who's bowled a long time knows you've got, granted, like you said, that day was, I'm sure, extremely frustrating because it just went through the face 7 times. And that just happens. But then you'll have days like that where every time you have a shot that's just a little bit off, it splits. And then other days you'll throw those and you'll probably hit the head pin that many times and shoot 250.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
It's like
absolutely.
Because I've always said that a bunch too, where I'll have nights where I come in here for league or something, and I'll throw the ball and feel like I just shot 750 and I'll have 6-0. Yeah. There's other days I feel like I shot 6-0 and I'll have 750. It's just like, it's just.
I can't tell you how many sets I've had where I feel like I throw it pretty good and shoot 670, and then I've had some sets where I'm throwing them everywhere, getting all the breaks in the world, and I'll shoot 780, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunately what we call bowling.
Yep. It's just like I just had the.
What's up, man?
Max looks a little different.
Rodney always messes with me.
Yep.
So what everybody calls me around here is, PBA or House Pro, or my seniors do it all the time. Hey, PBA, how you doing? Not on tour, but I appreciate it. I've had my fair share of the tour stuff, but
Gavin, no, the person Jay with the front front 8. I believe he fell off the 9th and the 10th down there.
Yeah, I think he's 7-10 in the 9th. I did not see what he did in the 10th.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think
know
it was
for
just
sure
a
he's
9
7-10.
spare or something simple, but yeah.
250 still good.
Yep.
It's a good start. Could be better. Could be worse.
Yep. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen. It is just me in the booth. But everybody can hear it. We have Miss Debbie Lewis. There is only one Debbie Lewis in this world. I promise. But yeah, thank you guys for watching on this Sunday. Also, too, if you're a bowler, make sure you follow today at 4:00 on the CW network. They have the U.S. Open that is going to be on TV. We have a guy from Cleveland area. I believe it's Parma Heights, but Patrick Dombrowski, a good friend of mine. He is the number 2 seed. Chris Vi from Columbus, Ohio. He is the 3 seed. Andrew Anderson from right around Detroit area is your 5 seed. So some guys in the central-ish area is on the U.S. Open. So make sure, CW Network, make sure you stop over there, 4:00 Eastern, and see if somebody can take down Anthony Simonson.
Yep.
Anthony Simonson has made the U.S. Open show the last 5 years.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, for those who don't know, yeah, that is unheard of.
That is crazy. 56 games, 4 different patterns. This year you couldn't throw urethane, and he's made the show every year for the last 5 years. That's just incredible.
So speaking of that, I know I saw a lot of people talking on this week with that. So they banned urethane.
Mm-hmm.
And so once they did that, all of a sudden you see people just pull out plastic.
Yep.
And so do you think they're going to shift anything else, or they're just going to let them throw plastic and say, okay, we did what we could with urethane and move on?
No, I think, the USBC did that. So the USBC and the PBA have different rules.
Yes.
Our nationals changed this year where we're not allowed to throw certain urethane balls, which I get. I understand. The national tour, you're allowed to throw, as a storm staffer myself, you're allowed to throw the 78Us. You're allowed to throw black hammers. I believe the tank is a shadow tank. You're allowed to throw those. But essentially, USBC, because of all the flack they've been getting about purple hammers, pitch blacks, whatever the case may be, they just said, you know what? For the U.S. Open and the Masters, we're getting rid of them.
Throw it.
So, do I agree with it? I'm like 50-50 on it, personally. And I'm going to explain why. I am a firm believer that we shouldn't take away urethane because that's partially how the sport started.
Yes.
Just my opinion. But when it comes to the plastic, these plastic bowling balls, Storm's Mix, the Sniper from Motive, the Axe from Hammer, all of those bowling balls are plastic technically, but they have a whether it be I don't know the technology of it, but whether it be the cover or partially the core, it does have a little bit of urethane in it. So you definitely saw some different things this week. It was kind of really cool to see people shoot 300 with a spare ball. I think it's good. I think it's good to have those events and it shows how good those players are with striking how much they did with plastic. You could drill plastic balls to do certain things, but it's still plastic. It's not like urethane. You're not going to be able to hook the lane like some guys can. But yeah, it made this week really, really interesting with the different patterns. I believe Chris Vi checked in you're allowed 10 balls. He checked in at least 2, if not 3 plastic balls.
Yep.
Which is kind of crazy if you think about it. But, with the lanes that were out there, Woodland hooks a ton. So you're able to throw plastic. So I think it added a different element. And I definitely think I was watching a little bit of it last night. I definitely think you're going to see Tim Foy throwing plastic to start.
Yeah.
But it all depends on how they break it down. But yeah, it adds a different look on it.
Speaking on that, I guess that's one thing I was kind of curious because I've seen people say things, and to me, I thought it was pretty much the same. But I guess maybe it may not be. I think part of it's going to probably be the flare because you're not going to get a plastic ball to flare.
No.
It doesn't have anything in it to make it flare. But so obviously, urethane and plastic both. Neither one of those absorb oil. The oil stays on top of the ball. How do they impact the carry down or the changing of the lanes differently? Do they do it differently or how? Because I was seeing some people trying to say that urethane changes the lanes a lot more than a plastic ball does.
In my opinion, urethane and plastic, I think they do the same thing down lane. I think they push oil down lane. The thing that's different about the urethane ball over the plastic ball is the urethane ball, normally when you throw urethane, you tend to hit yourself with 500. So what that does is it makes the front part of the lane hook. That's why normally when you get away from urethane, you got to move about 2 arrows left. You throw a reactive ball and kind of go around them. Where the plastic balls, they bowled on a 35-foot pattern this week, and watching Brad and Kyle's videos and not trying to shout them out or anything, but it made the 35-foot pattern really, really easy because they threw plastic instead of urethane, and you just had all the hold for days. 35 feet, that's 25 feet of friction down there that you got to tame down. And when you throw plastic, that turns into, it pushes all the oil down to, let's say, 42, 43, 44, something like that, where you have just endless amount of hold. That's why short patterns are always so high scoring. You throw urethane or plastic, get them to hold a little bit, grab a reactive ball, kind of throw it away from you. And you have the friction to the right because it's a short pattern, but you also have all that hold that you created. So to answer that, they do this, like I said, they do the same thing down lane. They push oil down lane. It's just the urethane balls make the fronts hook more, where the plastic balls just make them slicker down lane, essentially. They don't do anything to the front part of the lane. So now they did hit their plastic balls. They're not throwing plastic balls right out of the box. They did hit them with 500 and stuff like that. But even then, the cover is not as strong as urethane balls. So it may tear up the fronts a little bit, but not nearly as much as urethane balls.
That makes sense then. I mean, to me, I think no matter what you do to people of that level, they're going to find a way to strike.
Yeah.
So at something like the Master, like the U.S. Open, for that one, I thought, okay, no matter what you do, those people bowling the U.S. Open are going to strike. It doesn't matter what. You could tell them that they have to throw a ball from 1970. They're going to strike. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, anybody who's watched some of those videos where Packy or somebody will go out and find a wooden ball and he shoots 180 with a warped wooden ball. That just shows you the kind of bowler that those guys are. You put something in their hand, they'll make it hit the pocket and knock the pins down.
And also too, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say the biggest thing for that, and I think because they did it on some of the national events and some of the things on what you can throw and can't throw, and I saw this as an argument for it, which I kind of agree with, of the youth bowlers, the junior golds, that thing. I think that is where you do want to see more, because I do think the purple hammers and the pitch blacks were kind of becoming a crutch for some of those people. It's like, I can just pull that out and control it, where there's...
Yeah, it doesn't, in my opinion, I don't want to say those kind of urethane balls... I mean, I'm going to say it. I may get flack for it, but I don't really care. I think those kind of bowling balls, more so like the purple hammer, have kind of ruined the game a little bit, just because, people are throwing, do you need to throw a urethane on a house shot? Absolutely not. You can throw, there are certain styles that do allow that. We know, both of us know a guy named Mike Spahn, throws urethane all the time. He loves it. It's a style. But a lot of the time, you get guys that, some of those guys on tour, they're throwing, purple hammers and stuff like that, or just urethane in general on 48 feet.
Yep.
Well, we're sitting in front of a pro shop right now that has 40 balls that can strike more than that. That's just my philosophy. And I agree with that. I think the kids and the kids are doing what kids do, is they look up to the guys on tour, and that's their role models. And when they see them throwing it a lot and scoring a lot with it, they think they can do that as well. Now, I'm also a firm believer that whatever you have to do to strike, that's what you should do. So it's kind of again, it's a double-edged sword. I have my opinions about it. But I'm also one of those guys, I don't think they should get rid of urethane, because that's how bowling, that's one of the first things that bowling started
Yeah.
with, whether it be, rubber or urethane or whatever the case may be. These guys
Yep.
right here in front of us with Wellage and Nick Vogelsang, they used to bowl back in the day on King of TV with blue hammers and angles, and so that's how it started. So, but yeah, the kids, I would like to see more tournaments that kind of limit that. But also too, I mean, it's on the market. You're allowed to throw it. It's just like you were saying, it's kind of one of those things where to control the lane, it's not about doing it with your hand anymore. It's more so about, if you have a urethane ball, let's throw it, which nothing wrong with that. But that's what makes those guys, like Simonson, and I'm going to throw some amateurs in there like Chad Roberts and stuff like that are really, really good because they're really, really good with their hand. They don't need urethane to kind of blend them out. They can just do it with their hand. But that's the older, that's older generation. And, the kids, they like to see bowling balls hook. And like I said, they like watching the guys on tour. So if they can do it, so can they. So.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the things with people, new bowlers specifically, because I can think of a few people who I've seen, as they get better, they stop doing this. But I see newer bowlers a lot of times, you'll see them miss a shot or something doesn't do what they want it to do. And rather than try something else, they immediately go get a new ball. And I think there's so many people who have that mindset now of, well, that didn't work, I need to get a new ball, versus trying anything else than that. And it's just, there's just some people you see that's just what they think it is because, oh, well, that's hooking, this ball's hooking too much. Oh, I guess I just got to go get another ball.
Yeah.
And like, not to, again, like I know we're not calling people out. And I'm only saying this in a positive way because I have seen him get better and not do this because this is someone who I saw. This was constantly, I thought this was
I think I know what you're talking about.
Mark Miller.
Yes.
He would constantly change balls. He'd throw 6 balls in a game and threw like 150 and be so upset. And it's like, but I've seen him a lot more here the last year or two make adjustments with a bowling ball. And I feel like he's calmed down on that. And it's just, I've seen a lot of people
there's
do that.
times to make a ball change, There's definitely times, to make a ball change, but there's also times where, you get into the pocket and you just can't carry. And sometimes you need a ball change to get out of it. But like you were saying, if I'm a firm believer in league. When I bowl league, if I 10 pin 3 times in a row, it's probably not the right ball. So we need to get something else in our hands. Whether the, whatever option it is. But yeah, I definitely agree. There is a lot of people that, just kind of make ball changes to give a different look, which you gotta do that to strike, but also too, it kind of confuses you a little bit too. So,
yeah, I mean, it's just, I think that's what people see. Like you said, they'll watch the tour and they'll see them they'll change balls and things like that. I think what they don't see is sometimes is, I don't think people realize, and I've never bowled on it, but I've seen what they do, and I understand enough to understand what's going on. I don't think people understand how quickly the lanes change on tour.
Oh yeah,
like it's you
well,
can't
the rev
throw
rate
the
out
same,
there is the rev rate out there is so high, and that's why the tour stops that I've bowled, I'm very blessed to where having those tour reps out there, they kind of know, especially in the top 24 that just made it, they kind of know what the pair is going into it. The reps tell them, hey, this guy was sliding, hitting 17 of the arrows. It's great to have those. But yeah, I mean, there's several times where, you'll start a block and you'll play somewhat straighter and then you'll end up in front of the cap because the rev rate out there is just so high. And I was talking with a couple of my senior bowlers and they were asking me why I haven't, tried to go out on tour. And I have realized that I have decent power here. I hooked the ball a decent amount, not as much as, Brady or Jackson, some of my close friends. But out there, I tell people all the time, I'm Norm Duke compared to those guys. They have 550 off the hand, smooth. I can't hook them as much as Troop or Belmo or, Ethan, who's now coming on the scene, or EJ. Like, I can't. So out there, I feel like I have to shot make them and make shots. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is not tour nowadays.
No.
Tour is all about how much power you got, how much rev rate you got, creating an area for yourself. That's what tour has become. That's why, some of the older guys, Parker and Norm and, Those guys, they obviously retire just because they're getting older. But that's just not. It's not tour now. Back then, it's not that kind of thing.
The crazy thing now is it's not like. I think there for a little bit it was like just you had the power, you could just dominate everything. And I think you still have that a lot, but now you have EJ. I feel like is that combo where he has that power, but he's also like he may not be quite as accurate as a Norm Duke, but he's not. It's not like
he's pretty good.
He's not that far off. Like we're talking about, we're sitting here talking about having room and making room for yourself. You're talking maybe an extra half board or board at most. And so that's the thing. Like we're not talking that this power gives you 3-4 boards like you see at house shots. This is you found a way to give yourself half a board of room.
Yeah,
and
right.
You're going to light it up. So it's just the combination of both of those things. It's just if you don't have that rev rate, you can't get out there. And that's the thing that I always think. And it's people who don't bowl a ton or just bowl league. I don't think they understand. And I know you do this. A lot of people do this. But some of those league bowlers don't get that, like, somebody will throw a shot into you. That shot will look perfect. And they just buried it for a strike. And they're making like a 4-2 move or something off of the shot just because of what they saw. And it's like,
I do it all the time.
Yeah. And it's just like, those are the things that's the thing I'm still trying to get better at. That's probably my weakest point of my game is figuring out what adjustment to make when. And I think that's true for a lot of people. But it's just seeing some of the moves people make after the shots they have. It's like, you just see things differently, and that's the other thing it takes on tour and all that, where you just see a ball just how it rolls.
Yeah, those guys are so stinking good. I mean, luckily, the bowling center here in Northwest, they got to see Kyle Troop last year. Kyle Troop wanted to chose to bowl the Fat Boy Challenge, and I did a little shameless plug, and I actually called him out as a little charity bet, and people got to see. Kyle Troop, one of the best in the world, top 5, top 10 best in the world right now, bowl in pretty much our backyard. And there were several bowlers that came up to me and they were like, dude, it's so much different seeing him on TV versus here. And I'm like, yeah, you have a new respect seeing those kind of bowlers in person rather than on TV. Because TV, TV's TV. I feel like you're getting the best of the best with them. But when you're seeing how good they are physically, mentally, all that stuff. It really shows how good those guys are. Those guys are so good with the amount of games that they bowl, with the amount of time that they're away home from their families.
Yes,
it's a lot. And those guys are professionals. Those guys are the best in the world for a reason. So,
yeah, I mean it's great. Like you said, you can watch it on your people who get the bowl TV or watch it on the CW. You don't. And that's the other big thing people don't understand. CW, like I talked about how quickly the lanes change and like normal bolt, like qualifying and everything. For everything I've seen and heard, like TV shows are a whole different beast and animal.
Oh,
because
because the lights change and the
every
cameras,
like 2 shots or something crazy.
It's so. I've had I was fortunate where I almost made the show 2 years ago on Cheetah, but I've had several of my good friends, Michael Davidson, Patrick Dombrowski. Graham, who's another good friend of mine. All these guys have made shows. Some of them have won on tour. And they say that the TV set is hot, very hot because of all the lights and the cameras and the bodies just in one area. It makes the lanes change really, really fast. Unless you have a bigger TV set, with not as much people or not as crowded, those lights are still no joke. I mean, it's still hot in there. So,
there's just so many things, and it's just like any sport, any event, anything like that out there. You watch it on TV and you think, oh, that I see what that is. You don't understand the intricacies that exist there, like with golf, with all the any sport, even just how detailed you have to be to be able to do it at those levels. And I think
the other big thing, and I've learned this kind of growing up, is a lot of these bowlers, and again, we're not calling anybody out, but a lot of these bowlers, they'll sit there and watch, maybe Chris Vi today shoots 200 on TV, and they're like, oh, well, I can shoot 200 on TV, or I can shoot 200. Like, how good are these guys? And you really don't understand that shooting 200 on that kind of stuff is like us shooting 240. It happens, but it's, bowling on tour or TV shows, or it's a whole different ball game.
Yep. All right, guys, I am definitely seeing that bottom camera really have issues, so I'm going to swap a battery out on it and hope that helps out. So just give me a second. Just apologize for. Actually, I'm just going to deactivate it real quick so it's not moving or going crazy on you.
We are just now into. Some people are in the middle of the second game. Some people are towards the end of the second game. So feel free also too. We're sitting in the booth today. Feel free if you guys are in the chat and you have any questions or anything like that. Feel free to shout them out, and me and Steve can kind of talk about it and give us our opinions and advice or anything of that nature. I love doing that. I know Steve does as well. So if you have any questions or anything like that in the chat, let's hear them. Hello, boy, George. One of the veterans back in the day. We got Nick Vogelsang going 260s right here in front of us. Steve is working on that camera as we speak, so you guys will see that in just 1 second. We also got Rodney Stallworth down on the front 5. Looks like the pair down on the end with Heath Gooden, Gary Bauman. We got a 260 down there looking like, 270s, 290 pacing. Pretty hot pair down there, all the way down on 25 and 26. Oh, Willie D striking, bub. I mean, he's throwing a purple hammer. Good Lord, Willie. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, Wayne, the one and the only George Barlow. If this was uncensored, I would say George M.F. Barlow. He is the GOAT of our senior leagues. Always was up for King of TV Bowling Days, if you guys have watched that as well. Yeah, like I said, guys, if you're watching, if you're in the chat, make sure if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to put it in the chat. We'll give our advice to you guys. Try to help out as much as possible.
All right, guys. The other camera seems to be being a little finicky right now. I'm going to leave it off for a couple of seconds. I'm going to try and let it calm down because I put a new battery in it and it just kept turning on and off constantly. So,
nice.
Not ideal, but we still got one lane going, so we still got that. We still got bowling. You guys can still hear us. So, all of that. So Wayne said, I'm not sure if you saw, he just talked about the hardest tournament. What is your favorite tournament to bowl?
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. We're gonna do this in 2 categories. I'm gonna do, let's just say, an amateur and then the professional. So for me personally, amateur wise, man, that's tough. I would say professional wise is probably the U.S. Open and the Masters. For different reasons, I feel like the Masters, literally anybody can win once you get into match play. The format just allows that, where, like Steve was saying, it is the hardest tournament to win because anybody can win. Once you're in that top 64, it's just like March Madness. Anybody can win. And then the U.S. Open, I just love that tournament because of the patterns, the format, the prestige. I have bowled both of those. I've had some success in both of those. Amateur wise, man, that's tough. Goodness gracious.
I mean, I feel like there's just a lot of stuff that's just fun to bowl with your
Yeah,
buddies.
like,
the
there's just
doubles events where you're there with all your
Yeah.
everybody, you know that. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I know Nationals is up there. I love bowling Nationals. I just love the environment of Nationals and trying to win an Eagle. Now there is some years where you just like, man, I don't feel like bowling Nationals. But the tournament that always gets me going, that's my favorite. There's 2 of them. One is our city tournament that we bowl with the guys, whether it be Western, all over the city. And then I would have to say the Fat Boy Challenge, honestly. I love that tournament for the simple fact of the format. Because again, the Fat Boy gives everybody a chance. You know, you could be a house bowler and just bowl your occasional leagues, and you can grind on the sport pattern, and then just bomb them on the house pattern, and you'll make it every year. And then when it comes to match play, it's best 2 out of 3. Again, anybody can win that. It kind of sucks that it's not going to be at Northwest this year. It's kind of a little unfortunate, but things happen. But yeah, the Fat Boy, just because of the format of it, one of my really, really good friends I bowl with, Brian Doobie, he's the one that is pretty much came up with that tournament. Him and Todd. But Doobie, I love him to pieces, and he's the one that made that. And it's like I said, it's a great format for all kind of bowlers. And then our city tournament would probably be one. Just it's a little bit easier to win a city Eagle rather than a Nationals Eagle. Let's put it that way. So,
just a little, yeah,
just a little bit,
just a little. I mean,
what is your favorite tournament?
I think city's always just a fun thing to do, just to see everybody, the different styles and all of that, for sure. I'm trying to think. I mean, honestly, just the like we talked about, just some of the tournaments on that aren't on house or whatever, like the Sunday night tournaments, the ones that used to be at Gilmore, the ones we run here sometimes now in the summer. All those are just fun. Granted, I may not look in the moment. I may not be having fun on some of those harder patterns, but to me, it just shows you what the sport of bowling really is and can be, and what they do deal like. And it you don't even barely, like we said, you don't even scratch the surface of what they get on tour. But at least to see like we talked about, to see the scores or see the different people that come out. Like last year, I think we had a girl come out who was in like 8th grade and won one of those one night. I think Pia Schwartz ended up winning one of those night sweepers on a hard pattern. And it's just fun to see, like, at some of those events, it's just fun to be a part of. Like, it's not like bowling them is fun, but just being a part of them. It's just seeing all the different people that come out to those things. And it's just fun in general.
Yeah, talk about Pia. That was one of the coolest things I've seen, just because I think that was on Cheetah. So everybody knows I love to bowl on Cheetah. And I did not bowl the greatest. And I think she said something to Megan and Jimmy like, I just want to take down Rick or something like that. And she winds up beating me, and she winds up winning the whole darn thing. And it was so cool to see Megan and Jimmy back there. pretty
More
sure they were a
nervous than
little bit
she was.
emotional. Yeah, more nervous. It's just cool to see because you're not, in my situation with how much I bowl, you don't see that. Like I don't get to see that as
Yeah.
much anymore. Like I'm not,
Yep.
if I win something, am I going to be excited? Yeah. Am I going to be excited as her? Probably not.
Yeah.
Just because I've done it for so long, I've won for so long. But it was so cool just to see somebody new that's beginning to kind of bowl a little
Yep.
bit, and then winning a sweeper, and not the easiest sweeper,
No.
but winning the sweeper. It was really really cool, really really cool to watch
Yep.
Pia win.
Yeah. Yeah, those kind of things are things like when I sit here and think about like what do I remember, and those are
Yeah,
some of the things that I
yeah.
remember. Like I bowl things, and I'll like you said, it's just the memories of what it was, and like
Oh,
what
for sure,
the
for sure.
enjoyment of it. Like yeah, the bowling's fun, and there's definitely some things that are just fun to do just because of formats and different thing. Like another big one that was fun we just started last year was the match play tournament.
Oh yeah, the
That's a
Herschel
ton of
lawn care
that.
one.
The
Yep.
Herschel Lawn Care Match Play Tournament, which is coming back this summer too. But that was just seeing that, and it's just like you could see something. Obviously, there's frustration, but it's still just a ton of fun. Like because
Yeah.
that's one of those tournaments where it's all random match play draw, and so kind of like you said, anybody could win it at any point, and so it's like that luck of the draw too. Of like you have somebody who like Nick Arvin, I think went out in 2 matches, and like
Yeah,
I
and
think
he
he
was one
shot
of the ones.
500 for those 2 matches.
Yeah,
It's gone. And yeah, but it's just a different sometimes it's just the things that are just a little bit different. They're just make it fun and just more memorable.
Yeah, I mean that's what I like. That's the one thing I keep like, pictures and score sheets and stuff like that just to kind of remember. Just because there's gonna be one day where I don't bowl, I'm not
Yeah.
able to bowl or whatever happens.
Oh, fall down.
And I just, for myself when I have kids and children and hopefully grandkids. Hopefully I'm old enough for that. Hopefully I'm around for that. But something to just look back on and like you were saying, like memories.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, making the step ladder this year for myself, not talking about myself, but making the step ladder this year in Bluffton, I bowled a step ladder with EJ Tackett, grandpa, and EJ's little brother. That's one of the coolest things I've been a part of. Also making the step ladder in Coldwater this year was something to remember on as well.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just, one day we're not going to bowl. We're not going to be able to bowl. So it's something to remember and, tell our kids and show our kids that, when I have a son or a daughter, Collier's standing right next to us. He has a daughter now, something where his daughter can sit there and be like, wow, he accomplished a lot in bowling. He's got
Yep.
all these eagles and birds and pictures and all this
Yep.
kind of stuff. So that's my main thing is I want to make sure that, I want to have some stuff that I can leave for my children, that leave for my children that can see. Oh,
There's nothing up there now. So.
oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Lexi's dad was knocking over the table, almost knocked
Yep.
over the camera stand.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Let's see what I can do to get this last game in for you guys because it does look like we're going to be a little bit. That camera.
Steve, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna get a drink real quick, and then I'll be back in. All right.
Sounds good. All right. All right, guys. Well, sorry about this. Sorry about that black spot. We're trying to make it better. I'm doing my best to see what I can kind of figure out here on that. Bear with me just a minute while I do try and kind of figure out what we need to do here. I have an idea that I'm going to go with. I believe it's going to be a case of going old school for us, using one of our older $40 Chinese cameras. I think that's going to be my best option at this stage. So just bear with me while I get this set up here, and I will be right back. All right, guys, I apologize for all that. At this point in time, we're going to have one pair on for the 2 o'clock shift. Our goal is to try and have us back to 2 pairs. We will see what I'm able to get going here. But at this point in time, I don't know what is going on. All of my cameras are not cooperating, so I will we will see what we're able to do here. I do apologize for this. Don't know what exactly is going on, but as soon as I have an idea of what to do here, I will update that. Like I said, I will definitely be working on this between this shift and next shift. We do still have the ability to go mobile if we need to do that. But for this game, it is going to be sadly just this one pair. So we do have that going on. I don't know what exactly happened there. I do apologize for that. The only thing I think here, let me do this. I do have a plan here. Let's see if I can get that going. One other idea here that I'm going to go ahead and do that. It will limit our ability to go mobile. So I do apologize if we do have a 300 or something along those lines. It may be a case of having to shift just a little bit on what we're doing, but I think I should be able to get something to work here for just a second. Yeah. Again, I had one more idea here to get this going. I'll see if I can get it to work. Guys, I am doing this here. Sorry about the delay or the lack of talking here. I am working on this, trying to do my best to get it going. All right, I think I got something where I may be able to get something in here. Yeah. All right, guys, so we're back. All right, I was able to get that. Sorry about all the movement. Sorry about all the craziness. But we are back now. Okay, so we do have both up. I switched it to our mobile camera, so this is going to limit our ability to go mobile if we do have an honor score. So I do apologize for that. But I did want to get this last lane up here. Oh yeah. Actually do have a front nine going on just off to our left, so we are going to turn the camera just a little bit here. We're going front nine. Oh. All right, that was our fault. All right, you can put it back now. A little bit back, a little bit left. So I think you have, turn it a little bit counterclockwise. There you go. That's good. There you go. All right, we're back. All right, again, sorry guys for all this movement. Sorry for all this shifting and everything else that we've been dealing with here. Going to do our best to get this fixed for next shift for sure. I've still got a little bit of movement, so I know that camera on the top bottom there is a little bit blurry, but it's the best we got at the moment. I will be working to fix that here soon. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with our cameras. Our main camera has really decided to start having issues, so trying to figure out exactly what to do there. But we are back to live events, so there we go. All right, we're starting up our third game here on the left lane, finishing up our third game on the right lane, but that's also, we have 6 on the right lane and 7 on the left, so that's going to take a little bit more time with the 7. So I got all that set up just so you guys can see the end of that. All right, I do see we had about 30 people watching over on YouTube. Where's everybody watching from? Get some of that. Get some of that chat coming in through here. All right, good shot there from Mr. Wellage. See what Robert's able to do here over on the left side. Ooh, very nice. So we do have somebody getting ready to go, going for an 800 series down there on. And on 25 and 26. So, I mean, he's sitting there at 268, 279, so needing just that gives him a 547, so needing just a 253 with a front 7. That should be pretty easily doable. Like I said, we'll do our best to try and see what we can do here, but at this point, try and see if we can bring that to you guys. If he does get into the 9th frame, 8th, 9th frame, we'll take that down there and get that going. Oh, trying to keep an eye on that down there for you guys, let you know what we're able to see. Edward G here, able to get a strike there in the 9th. Not with that's going. I can't. Mm-mm. Yep. So if we do need to go down there, if he does get front 8, front 9, we will take the camera down to that lane. So once again, we will lose the bottom camera there. So I do apologize for those of you watching 15 and 16. Once again, we'll be moving that down for somebody who does have 543 at the 547 at the turn. With the front 8-7 going on down there, going for 800 and 300 both. So we'll see what we're able to get from that. Bring that to you guys. All right, he is stepping up here in the 8th frame. We'll see what he's able to do here. Shot going down. Oh no! Oh, fall. Okay, got away with it. He did throw almost was a split, but he does have an 8, so he still definitely got a shot at an 800 down there. Still can make this spare and go out for 278, which will still get him where he needs to be for that 800. Good shot. See what Roy's able to do here, stepping up. Case pulled, stepping up with 9-9. Let's see if he can get his first strike of the game here on 14. Oh, coming across. That was my fault. Apologize for that, Roy. Mr. Ed Clark, I bowled with him in my league for a long time. Oh, another slightly off there. See what we're able to get. Make this fair. John finishing up his 10th frame here. Another strike there for John. Jerry down there with the first strike and stepping up in the 10th. I believe he has pretty much already earned himself a 800 down there. Nope. Now spare in the eighth and spare in the 9th. So now I believe all he needs to do at this stage is just get a spare in the 10th for his 800. John throwing his last shot of the tournament for this shift. Oh, 10 pin standing up. It's still a great game. Great set for him. Finishing up here on 15 and 16. We do have 10th frame kind of finishing up here. If they finish up, we could probably take that down there because, like I said, all he needs is a spare for him to shoot 800. So we'll get these last couple of shots here. We might be able to bring you guys that 10th frame from him, although they are getting done a little quick down there, so it might be cutting it a little close. See what Nick is able to do here, finishing up his 10th frame. David Wellage over there shooting for 235. John getting himself to a 257. Nick can get himself up to a 212. Oh, that 10 pin's just not wanting to fall for that field ball for these two. And Keith Gooden, we will try to bring that to you. Keith is stepping up in the 10th frame down there. Does need a spare, so I'll bring you guys that. Let you guys know what he does shoot here. Needing that spare for that 800. We'll see what he's able to do. He's stepping up here on lane 25. Getting ready to throw his first shot. Gets it down the lane. And he gets a strike, so that will be an 800 for Mr. Keith Gooden. Now the question is, how high is he able to get it? 43. I think he's able to get himself to 67, which could get him to, I believe, about a 814 if he strikes out. I believe is what he's able to get to. I believe he just threw another strike, so I think he will be set there, down there, seeing if we're able to get that. Like I said, finishing up here, Brent Welch throwing for us 203. Let's see if he's able to get that fill ball to strike. Not leave that solid 10. There's a good shot. There's George. Oh, George going to a little high there. Let's see if they can pick up. Keith Gooden down there. Like I said, I'll let you know what his final total is here in just a second. Just threw his final ball. Leaving, I believe, a 10 pin, but he is all good to go. Oh, that's fun. So we do have an 800 down there, Keith Gooden, getting us an 800 of the day. Our first honor score since Friday. So that is a good thing to hear and good thing to see going on down there. So great shooting from him. All right, so 214 for Jerry G. Brent getting himself to that 203. So we're just finishing up here on that bottom screen. Finishing up here. Still have some games going on. We got Delco Taylor stepping up here on 13. See if he's able to get himself his second strike of the game. Oh, Brooklyn. Get it. Oh, 5 pin. Everybody's hands up. Hands in the air. Pick it up. Oh, strike there from Roy.
All right. I'm back again. I decided to get a wireless camera because I feel like walking around a little bit. See what Ed's able to do. Trying to look at something here real quick. $829 down there for Jerry. I thought it was lower than that, but I guess it was $829. I think it was 258. I thought, but maybe I was wrong. 829. He's probably getting some handicap. I bet that's what it is. He should have shot an 800, but I'm assuming he's getting some sticks down there for 829. All right. Here we got Russell stepping up. Good shot there for Russell. Getting that strike there. Get some 108. So it's 250 on paper. Robert's able to get his second strike of the day here on 14. Delco, come on. Got it up down the middle. Oh, turned a little bit right there. Face on that one. All right, let's see. Ed get himself a double here. Come on, Eddie. Come on, Eddie. Let's see what we got. Oh, get away with it. Oh, okay. We'll take it. We'll take a 9 count. All right, let's see Jeff be able to pick this up. Hook around. Hook. Oh, good shot. Good run at that from Jeffrey. Yeah. Stepping up, we got Robert here. Good shot there from Roy, getting himself a strike on that one. Good shot there. Eddie getting himself a strike. Oh, come on, George. Let's get a double here. Turn. Struggling to get that ball to turn down lane. George is able to cover up a spare there, so good to see out of that. Keeping it clean at least. Well, keeping it somewhat clean for the last 3 frames. Probably a decent shot. Good shot. Double up for Robert there. Delco's able to do here. Good shot there. Make the split. A little tough with that speed, but you never know. There you go. Good run on it. Yeah. All right, Russell, let's see if he's able to keep that 250 pace going. And out there, turn the corner, and carries. Good shot there from Russell Tipton. Good. How are you? All right, we've got another 10 there. Go on, get in. Oh, wow. Just really starting to fly on him now. George, oh, I'm getting to turn the corner, but a little too hard there. Delco's able to step up, see if we can get his first strike since the first time. Bunch of nines here. Let's see if we can get a 10. Come on, let's see an X up there. In there, get it. Oh, another 9. Hook. Oh. Also getting that one a little wide. Then we're turning the corner again. It's kind of a theme here on 13 and 14. Had quite a few people running into that problem. All right, guys, as we are finishing up here again, we will be coming back here for the 2 p.m. shift. What exactly that looks like at this moment, I'm not sure. I'm doing my best. Sorry, I've been a little bit out of it. I've been trying to figure out what's going on with the cameras. So I do apologize for the lack of commentary here this last game and the lack of kind of talking. I have been trying to work on that, trying to figure out what exactly it is that is going on there. Um, but doing my best. Good spare there by Robert. Great spare to see there. Carl Russell's getting him managing to get himself to a 235. Roy going to be stepping up here, seeing what he's able to do. But again, guys, as we're wrapping up here, we'll be re-oiling and we will be back at 2 o'clock. We will be live at 2 o'clock. We will have something going on and we'll be talking a little bit more, doing my best on that. But like I said, right now I'm just kind of focused, a little distracted on trying to figure out exactly what it is I need to do to get this camera working again. Really want to see what we're able to do, what we're able to get kind of going, and what I need to do to get that going. So again, I do apologize for our technical difficulties that we have been dealing with, but I will do my best to get those solved, and we will be back with 2 pairs live at 2 o'clock. And we got these last couple of frames here from Roy, Delco, Jeffrey, and Ed. See how we finish out, and then we'll be back at 2 o'clock. Delco, let's see if Roy's able to get that strike. There you go. Finish that off with a good strike. Good shot there from Roy. Off 177. Jeffrey's able to do here. Jeffrey looks like he's wearing a potentially a former champion jersey there. Oh, good strike there. He was able to get himself to. Four city champion there, Jeff Thompson. You see that? Recognize those shirts. Oh, another strike there from Jeffrey. See what we're able to get. Oh, hook. Oh, Ed. Oh, not his finest moment, but hey, we're still out here bowling, so it's a good day. Last shot here from Jeff, and then we'll be signing off. Like I said, we'll be back at 2 o'clock. Tune in then. You guys are there. Jeff, oh, not quite finishing that off, but still a good set for him. All right, guys, that will do it for us. Again, like I said, we'll be back at 2. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, I apologize for the difficulties. I will be working on those here for the next hour, trying to get those situated and get us what we need. Be back to our full capacity here at 2 o'clock. So see you guys then. Thank you for tuning in.